Hello, I'm Carla. Marianne's joining me today. She's allowing me to torture her for an abdominal class. This is going to be a very short class, just targeting a few of the classic abdominal asanas that we do in Iyengar yoga. Again, if you have any medical concerns, please rather check in with a teacher. And when you are doing these poses, listen to your body, especially if you have a back injury, listen to your back. When we discuss abdominal strength, core strength includes the back. So these exercises are very good for you, but do just pay attention to what feedback you're getting from your body. In Shavasana, I'm just going to come to an upright position. So you're extending the spine tall, opening up the chest. Let the thighs settle down in this comfortable cross-legged position. We're both sitting on a little bit of height, so take whatever height you need. There will be very minimal props used today, but we will need some bolsters. And if you don't have bolsters, I'll show you a few alternatives for our cross bolster restorative. Bring the hands together in the prayer position. With the spine erect, the chest well open, let the eyes close. Closing your eyes, you're just coming to the breath. Feel that breath move effortlessly in and out of your body. You use the breath to connect yourself to the present moment, to your body on the mat. We'll begin our practice with the 3 Oms. Coming back to the breath, extend the spine fully and open your chest as you inhale. And when you exhale, drop your chin down. Feel that lovely stretch at the back of the neck across the top shoulders. And on an exhalation, release the hands into your lap, lift your head up and open your eyes. Keeping that length of the spine, we're just going to take a twist to the right. So right hand behind you, left hand, grip it onto that the right knee and take a turn. Feeling the abdomen emptying out, feeling the wrapping of the organic body around the spine. Coming back to center on the exhalation. Inhale, lift yourself up tall once more. And as you exhale, turn. Use the arms. Grip into that left thigh with the right arm, turn. Empty the abdomen, turn. The last thing to do is turn the head. When you've been there for a couple of breaths, coming back to the center, straighten up again. Change the cross of the legs. Again, find a comfortable seat. Let the knees and the thighs settle down. Lift your spine up as you do for your full Shavasana. Coming to Paripurna now, turning to the right. As you press against this right knee, pull that left shoulder blade through. And then if you'd like, turn the back of the left hand against the right knee and see, can you get more openness in that bicep, more openness on the left side of the chest. Each inhalation, you press into the right hand, you extend the spine. Each exhalation, you see, can you deepen your twist a little bit more? And then releasing back to center. Take a breath here to just straighten the spine, lengthen through the sides of the body. And on an exhalation, we turn into Paripurna. First with the grip of the hand, wrapping those organs around the spine, releasing and stretching those spinal muscles. When you feel ready, you turn the back of the right hand, opening that bicep, opening the right side of the chest. Keep pressing into the left hand as scaffolding to keep the spine long. And you turn to look over your left shoulder. And then exhaling, coming back to center. and releasing the legs in Dandasana. Okay, so we're starting today just with a little bit of instruction in terms of how the abdominals work during your practice. So we'll lie first in Supta Tadasana. Supta means lying down or sleeping. In Supta Tadasana, your legs are straight, your spine is straight, your arms are straight, and you make sure that the flesh of the back body is released away from the shoulders. Now, when you do a classic sit-up at gym, often you'll get where the muscles kind of bunch up and you get this little loaf that sticks out when you do your classic sit-ups. So here, using your exhalation, locate your belly button, and you want to exhale and take the belly straight up to the floor, or in this case, down to the floor. And then as you exhale and take that belly down, I want you to imagine from the left side of the waist and your belly button, there's another belly button halfway. And from the right waist and the belly button, there's another belly button. So you've got 3 belly buttons across the central navel band. And the left and the right imaginary belly buttons, can you draw them back to the floor also? And when you pull them back, are you still able to breathe? So engage the core, those muscles on an exhalation, but can you still breathe? So don't hold it too hard that you're unable to breathe. And then there's a 4th imaginary belly button. So between your belly button and your pubic bone, halfway down in that lower abdominal region, can you draw that belly button straight back towards your sacrum? Again, with all 4 belly buttons engaging, are you still able to breathe? So it's surprisingly hard work if you focus on it. And it's a good thing to do when you're standing also, especially if you're standing in a queue, start working. And then the other thing you can do is from this lower belly button, lift up to the other 2 side belly buttons. So it's almost like a nice big smile. And then exhale, soften, relax, let go. So when you do these, use the exhalation. The exhalation you employ on a forceful action such as these abdominal lifts. Ardha Navasana is the half boat pose. We're going to begin there. If you're able to lift your feet when you do it, great. And if you're able to do the classic where you've got your hands interlaced behind your head, then that's what we're doing. So interlacing the hands, take a nice full breath in, and as you exhale, employ the abdomen, lift the shoulders off the floor, lift your feet in line with your eyes. Here, the back does round, but you are trying to get that middle back up off the floor. Engage the abdomen's low, all 4 belly buttons low. Still breathe, still breathe. And when you're ready, you exhale, you release, you come down, back to lying in Supta Tadasana, back to relaxing. All right. If you're unable to do that, what you can do is use your hands to help you like little oars, where the hands can help pull you up. You can maybe leave the feet down if you need, or lift the feet up, and then start working from there. And then once you no longer need the hands to get you up, hopefully you can then work at holding the head. Again, you're on your tailbone, eyes are in line with the toes. Inhale, as you exhale, move into the pose, then inhale again. And keep exhaling into that abdominal region. Each inhalation, you're extending the legs, quieten the gaze. Be there for as long as you're able to. And then when you're ready, you release and come down. Obviously, Ardha Navasana would be easier if you are coming into it from a seated position. So if you're struggling with what Marianne is doing, then you can just come from a seated position and see how you go there. Otherwise, 3rd Ardha Navasana. As you're in it, you're trying to hold it. And then again, it's your body. Your body's different to everybody else's body. Your pose and practice will be different to everybody else's. So if you need to approach it from up, you approach it from sitting. Have a rest here. So this is the only time you're allowed to do Shavasana during a class, is after abdominals, where you just quietly let go of everything. Ardha Navasana, the half boat, teaches you a lot of the abdominal work for Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. Urdhva Prasarita Padasana we're going to show in different stages. but you need to know what is 90 degrees, what is 60 degrees, what is 30 degrees. So bringing the legs to the upright is 90 degrees. Keeping the legs extended and strong here, exhaling into all four navels. Here is 90 degrees. The legs are at a right angle. Now, if you look down your body without lifting your head and you take your legs down to where you just see the knees past the horizon of your chest, that is more or less 60 degrees. When you come down and you just see the toes past the horizon of your chest, that is more or less 30 degrees. And then all the way down to the floor, obviously, but you can also just hover over the floor and then release down to rest. The hand positions will also change. Having your hands down is easier, and I would recommend you do it for today so that we can get as many reps of Urdhva Prasarita Padasana in as possible. So engaging your abdomens. Inhale as you exhale, strong legs, bring them up. Inhale as you stretch your legs and open the chest. As you exhale, bring the legs down to 60. And then a small inhalation, and then exhale down to 30. And then a small inhalation as you stretch. Exhale, you can hover if you have the strength to, or just come all the way down and rest. Once you've rested, inhale, exhale, legs up to 90. Inhale, stretch the legs and spine. Exhale down to 60. Inhale, exhale down to 30. Inhale, exhale, and hover the legs down, and then release the legs down. So this works your abdominals, your back, and you can also feel your hip flexors working. So up to 90 degrees, strong legs, and you just keep doing these. You keep doing as many as you can, making sure that you're not pressing the head into the floor too hard, making sure that you're not gritting your teeth, tightening the shoulders as you do. And then when you are rested, if you feel that the head and the neck do take strain, if you are the type of person to push the head into the floor, again, you can take a blanket under the head and the neck at any point. To increase the intensity in Urdhva Prasarita Padasana, you want to start doing the more classic way. So you are now going to take the legs up as well as down. So you're going to take them up in stages. So inhale, and as you exhale, up to 30, strong legs. As you exhale, up to 60, inhale, stretch. As you exhale, up to 90, and then 90 suddenly becomes a restorative, where you can rest a little bit. And then on the next exhalation, down to 60, inhale, exhale, down to 30, inhale, exhale, down all the way to the floor and rest. Obviously, you want to do many repetitions, and as you get stronger, you don't even have to rest on the floor. You can just go immediately to the next one. So up to 30, up to 60, up to 90, down to 60, down to 30, hover, and then back to 30, back to 60. If going up in increments at this point is not possible for you, if it's not within your practice to do so, then just keep going from 90 and working your way down, and then back to 90 and working your way down. What you will find is if you're not very flexible, even the 90 degrees will be quite a challenge for you. So you can also work with a strap and just work at getting a bit of flexibility as well. Once you've finished and done as many as you can, rest in Shavasana. Let the abdomen quieten. Sometimes releasing the arms overhead, even if you just grasp the elbows, is quite nice to stretch the sides of the body, to stretch and release the abdomen. When we feel ready, we're making our way to Tadasana. Tadasana, of course, is the standing pose. Standing with your feet together, standing tall, open up your chest. And again, notice, are you just sucking the belly back, or are you able to get that lift from the lower abdominal up through to the sides of the abdomen? When the abdomen is lifted and in place, are you able to breathe? A nice way of getting that abdominal lift is to make sure that the thighs are pressed back, and against that you bring the middle buttocks in. Feel that internal lift that you get there. We're coming now to Utkatasana. In Utkatasana, you want to keep this firmness in the abdomen. And when you bend, you're not throwing the groins forward and rounding the back, You're also not arching the back and throwing the buttocks back. You're keeping that abdomen in as if you're wearing a corset. So on an inhalation, stretch the arms up over your head. As you exhale, bend the knees as if you're sitting back towards a chair. You keep the shins lifted so that the weight is on the heels. Very nice. And you keep that length in the lumbar spine by controlling the abdomen. It's a tough pose. Don't forget to breathe. And when you're ready, press the feet into the floor as you straighten your legs up and take your hands at your sides in Tadasana. We'll just do a side view now. If keeping your knees together, if you are a little bit knock-kneed and it's a real problem for you, grab a shoulder balance foam or a nice folded blanket, and you can use the grip of the foam to assist with the knees. So from Tadasana, front thighs back, middle buttocks forward, arms up. And as you exhale, sitting back, keeping that length of the abdomen so that the lumbar spine is long, keeping the lift of the shins. Breathe and breathe and breathe again until you really feel you can't anymore. Then lift up through the arms, stomp the heels into the floor as you straighten the legs and bring the hands down. So your abdominal work, that practice will assist you a lot in your standing poses. We are going back to an abdominal now, Paripurna Navasana. So Ardha Navasana was the half boat. Paripurna Navasana is the full boat. Paripurna Navasana, if you love Paripurna, you might not enjoy Ardha Navasana and the other way around. So you're coming to sit on your mat. And if you just rock from side to side, you'll figure out where your buttock bones are. And you want to stay on the buttock bones. It's not like in Ardha Navasana where you low down and the back is rounded. So from here to assist, bend up the legs, holding onto the knees, lift your chest up. Find this balance here. See, can you find that action of the abdomen? The legs are working, the chest is nice and open. So you don't want to round the back. You want to lift the spine, lift the chest. And then are you able to straighten the legs? Keep the firmness in the legs and then extend the arms at your sides. Try to feel that you're not dropping the sacrum to the floor. You're shifting to the buttock bones. When you're ready, you'll bend your knees and release. In Paripurna Navasana, the spine is a lot more straight and the toes are higher than the eyes. If you want to increase the intensity a bit, use the arms first, like we did for Ardha Navasana. Open the chest, lift the feet, straighten the legs up. You want to keep lifting the chest. You want to keep extending the legs. You want to keep finding your breath here. And then in your own time, you release and you come down. If you tend to let your back hang back a little bit, you can also place a little bit of support right here near the buttocks to give you some feedback. So when you go into it, that will be there and reminding you not to round the back, not to drop the back. Yeah, okay. It seems like such a small little support and won't make a difference, but it actually does. Keep that lift of the chest. Classic Paripurna Navasana. You come into it from Dandasana. So you'll need strength, you'll need a little bit of momentum. What you want to do initially as you're practicing, just go for the swing. Bring the legs up, see, are you able to, even with the arms supporting you, lift the legs, engage the abdomen. Yeah, when you're swinging back, you can't have the support. And then once you practice that enough times, you can come from Dandasana to full Paripurna Navasana. Use the arms like you're pulling yourself up, like you're pulling the chest up. And by all means, if you need to hold the legs, you hold the legs. Paripurna Navasana does definitely work the quads. It is, that's why Urdhva Prasarita Padasana and Ardha Navasana actually engage the abdominals much easier, I think, anyway. So start with those, get stronger, and eventually your Paripurna Navasana will become much easier. We're coming now to a bent leg Jata Parivartanasana. So if you just lie in the middle this way. Okay. With your arms out to the side, you're going to bend your knees to your chest. And Jata Parivartanasana, Jata is abdominal, Parivrita means revolved. So taking both knees over to the right-hand side, bent legs is fine. You're going to let the legs rest, let the knees rest. Feel that the root of this left thigh moves away to keep the spine nice and long. Bent leg, Jata Parivartanasana is a restorative. It's very releasing on the back, and it's also a nice way of preparing for full leg Jata Parivartanasana. Bringing the legs back up to the center. You're going to drop them over to the other side. Keep that length in the body. Not many people are able to come to the full twist and keep their shoulder on the floor and keep their knees on the floor. So if you need props, if you need supports, please take blankets under the shins if you need. Coming back to the center, and we're going to come up. We'll turn that way now. So if you're unable to do Jata Parivartanasana with straight legs, bend your legs. You're going to continue doing Jata Parivartanasana with the bent knees, right? Take the arms out to the side. Palms facing down will be easier. It does give you a bit of support. Palms facing up is more classic. So again, bend up, take the legs up, straight up to 90 degrees. And now what you're aiming to do as you exhale, you're going to drop both legs over towards the right hand. You don't have to turn your head. Keep the legs strong. If you're able to come with straight legs, you're going to lift straight legs or bend the legs to come up. As you exhale, again, 2 straight legs, aiming them towards your hand, not down in line with your waist. Then when you're ready, using the breath to come up. So try a couple of rounds on your own. Each exhalation, you move. Inhale, you stretch. Exhale, bring the legs back up. If it becomes very strenuous for you, listen to your body. If you need a blanket for the head, take it. If you need to bend the knees, bend them. It's not a competition. You're not challenging anyone, or it's just yourself. So work with your body. And slowly, slowly, you will develop the strength. You will develop the capacity to be able to do the full Jata Parivartanasana. You can do however many rounds you like, making sure you do an even amount to each side. And then when you've done both sides the same length of time, you can just rest your feet on the floor. Nicely done. Have a rest here. We're finishing off in cross bolsters. Cross bolsters is a nice way to extend that abdominal region. So any cramping that you may have caused, nice way of releasing. Cross bolsters implies having 2 bolsters. One bolster, your hard, firm bolster, will be at the bottom, and then the softer, more pliable one will be at the top. So you got like a seesaw. If you don't have the luxury of 2 bolsters, you can take a bunch of folded blankets or even your blocks. I like to use shoulder balance foams. It's just a A4 sized hard foam block, and you're placing your seesaw there. So now you're sitting to the front of the seesaw, sit on top of the bolster. Then you're going to slide, make sure your back is centered on the bolster. You're going to lie down on the bolster, push with your feet to get your shoulders on the floor. Make sure the back of the neck is long. And your hips will be the highest point because they will be where your foams are. Turn the palms to face up so that there's freedom in the chest, back of the neck nice and long. If you're able to here, you extend the legs, straightening the legs, a little bit softer than Setu Bandha, so it shouldn't affect your back. However, if this catches your back in any way, bend up your knees and so be it. You'll do it with bent knees. If it does catch your back and you really would prefer to do the full stretch, you can take your feet onto support. So either shoulder balance foams or another bolster, taking the feet up still gives you that extension of the front body, gives you a nice extension on the upper thigh, that hip flexor region that we worked. Here, let the eyes close. This is almost preparation for your Shavasana, so let the feet flop out, let the whole body feel at ease. especially the diaphragmatic region, especially that whole abdominal region. Let go of all 4 belly buttons. Just breathe. These restoratives you do whenever you need. This restorative is a wonderful abdominal release, but it is also very beneficial for the digestive system, for the respiratory system. So it is a really nice pose to hold. Again, you hold them as long as you have time for. When you're ready to come up, you're going to bend your knees and put your feet on the floor. Now you're going to roll off the bolster like you do coming out of Shavasana. And the advantage of having the support this way and not the 2 bolsters is that you're not rolling awkwardly onto the second bolster. We're coming now to Shavasana. In Shavasana, have a blanket for your head. Make sure that it's folded neatly and smoothly. The blanket is going to support your head and your neck. Because we want a little bit of quietness in the hip flexor region that we've worked a little bit today, we're going to place a bolster underneath the knees. So first settle yourself, neck and head on the blanket. Shoulders are off. Make sure the flesh of the shoulder blades is down the back, buttock flesh is away. And the bolster doesn't come on your calves so that your toes are floating in the air. It also doesn't come right up by your thighs. You want it kind of halfway, so that the center back knee crease is on the center bolster. Let the legs flop out to the side. Let the feet flop out to the side. And just feel that the heels are grounded and that the bolster is supporting behind the knee, creating softness in the hip flexor and the groin region. Each exhalation, release. As you release the breath, release the shoulders, release the hips, release the joints of the body. Release the muscles. Just let the skin even relax away from the bone down towards the floor. The back of your neck is long, the throat is soft. Relax especially the muscles of the face. So the skin of the face is relaxed, but especially the cheeks, the mouth, the jaw. Can you make sure that those areas are completely stilled and at ease? Soft, silky inhalations here. Quiet, peaceful, releasing exhalations. If thoughts come, acknowledge them, release them, come back to your breath. The same way that the exhalation took you into your Shavasana. Now with each inhalation, feel that inhalation bringing you back to the surface of consciousness. Each inhalation, you're breathing that vital pranic energy. Feel that extending to every cell of the body. You can rub your thumb across your fingertips, move your toes slightly. Put your hands anywhere on your torso where it's comfortable for you. For a moment, reconnect with your breath. And on the next inhalation, stretch your arms over your head. Give your body a nice long deep stretch. You can yawn or sigh the breath out. And bending your knees, roll onto your right hand side, staying in that fetal position for a few more moments. When you feel ready to come up, you come up slowly. You're going to bring the head up last. So use your left hand, pressure it into the floor, work your way into a comfortable seated position. Spine is extended. Hands at the prayer position, eyes closed. Coming to the breath, again, the inhalations, assisting in bringing you back to the present. With a small smile on your face, take a moment to give thanks for the health and strength of your body. On the next breath, then let the eyes gently flutter open and focus. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you, Marianne. Right, well done.